For those of you who are familiar with my channel, this is not one of my usual funny videos. I will try to have some comical moments edited in, but mainly I'm making this video because I simply want to. This is something personal that I've always wanted to make because Half-Life 2 means a lot to me as a game. Recently, I randomly bought Half-Life 2 on Steam after not having played it in years. I finished it, earned all achievements I could, and I recorded everything. These are my thoughts on why Half-Life 2 is still a masterpiece, and how it does better in some aspects than a lot of games released in the past few years. I'm going to be very brief with this section. Half-Life 2, as most people know, is a first-person shooter released in 2004, made by Valve with a brand new revolutionary physics engine. It has been regarded as a game to redefine what a game could be. For those who haven't played Half-Life 2, however, it might seem extremely basic on the surface. But in my opinion, Half-Life 2 is the furthest thing from basic. Even today, it does so many things so wonderfully well, and not a lot of games can come close to emulating some of the things Half-Life 2 did. In this video, I'm going to attempt to explain why I think so, along with a few examples of what I mean in each point. Half-Life 2 does not have a voice protagonist, and there's a reason for it too. Too many games fall into the crutch of having the player character narrate everything from their eyes. At times this is nice, especially when emotion is needed to be conveyed in a scene. But many times this can belittle a player by forming thoughts for them instead of letting them think for themselves.
Alright, looks like they expect me to sit in their fancy chair.
In Half-Life 2, the player is always in the shoes of Gordon Freeman. Not once in the game does it leave his view. Even in scripted cutscenes, you are still in the eyes and ears of this person. You are just as confused as Gordon is, navigating this bizarre world stepping out of stasis. And the game is designed to accommodate that, through little scenes playing out in environments, interactions between the people, the world, and the creatures. You can infer for yourself on what's happening. Half-Life 2's environmental storytelling is top tier too. I will give plenty of examples in the next two sections, which are related to this point. Half-Life 2's way of teaching the player is marvelous. The game has no tutorials whatsoever aside from a few pop-ups that tell you what button you can press to move, pick up objects, etc. But the game constantly teaches you things about the game and how you can play it, and it's always in a show-don't-tell approach. Let me show you what I mean. Upon encountering a barnacle, one of the monsters you can face, a crow flies into its tongue, being killed. From witnessing this, the player can instantly make a connection that walking into a barnacle's tongue is a bad thing to do. As you encounter more individual barnacles, you know what to do, and you might also stumble upon ways to distract a barnacle too. Later on, you encounter more barnacles all clustered up and blocking your way. There's a slippery slope with some explosive barrels beside it. The game is trying to tempt players into finding out more ways to handle the enemies. At first, I didn't really get it. You can see me here struggling with the barrels, before finally just making my way through by force. But I did try to experiment. Later on, another opportunity presents itself with almost the exact same conditions as last time. I tried pushing another explosive barrel down the slope, and this time shot the barrel a few times to make it explode while it was being pulled up by the barnacle. It killed all of the barnacles instantly. The game had zero pop-ups to tell me any of this. The main character, Gordon, never narrated his thoughts either. Because his thoughts are our thoughts, and ultimately, well, what I managed to figure out was nothing big by any standards. I felt a strong sense of joy figuring things out, because the game let me earn that satisfaction, all my own. The game has plenty of moments like this, and what you learn from the beginning can help in moments throughout the whole game. There are so many things you could figure out, most of them without any help. At the very beginning, you help Dr. Kleiner plug in a power plug to advance the scene. Several chapters later, there are moments where you can unplug certain power plugs to deactivate things in the environment. In chapter 3, you figure out that a lot of wooden objects are destructible, especially with explosives. Later on, you find yourself naturally destroying wooden supports to defeat enemies. And gosh, it feels so natural. You probably never realize that you've learned these mechanics because once you've learned a core mechanic, it's so natural to be fluid in the subsequent challenges you face. Half-Life 2 packs within it so many details, both hidden and in plain sight. The world, while a post-apocalyptic world with tyrannical overlords, is so inexplicably beautiful, sprinkled with details upon details. While the graphics did play a large part of that, the amount of details that you can very easily miss is mind-boggling. Remember that this game came out in 2004. That was before even Windows Vista. The biggest games in the previous year were Knights of the Old Republic and Simpsons Hit and Run. It's also released on Xbox Original, meaning it fit on a single DVD. Yet, when I play this game, it never fails to pull me in and captivate me with the details you can find. I've played and replayed this game countless number of times, but I still find details I've never noticed. In Kleiner's Lab, for example, Chapter 2, you can find a card made by a young Alex Vance for Uncle Kleiner. There's a mini teleporter you can mess around with, teleporting anything you can fit inside it. The magnifying glass on the table actually magnifies. There's a group photo of Black Mesa scientists, including yourself, and a crossed out face that you can only assume is Administrator Breen. Switching through the camera monitors, you can catch a glimpse of the mysterious G-Man from the intro, and that's just quite literally one room. Throughout the game, scenes and interactions between the people of the world also give it life.
The Freeman must excuse us. It is rude of us to commune by flux shifting in front of those whose vocal inputs are impaired. Yes, we will vocalize into auditory language as a matter of courtesy.
Things that build up your understanding of this strange world that you're thrust in. There are so many things you can interact with in such a simple game. And the game rewards you for it too. But it's not only the elaborate interactions too. It's only a few days ago I realized that this graffiti is a reference to electrical resistance, symbolizing the in-game resistance. Enemy soldiers even have randomized predetermined code names consisting of a random word and a random number, and they are actually used in their radio chatter. For example, if a Combine soldier's name is Blade 5, when flanking you he might say Blade 5 leaving him. And if he happens to die, his ally could say Blade 1 designated. And there are so many possible combinations of their radio chatter that is actually utterly amazing. When enemy civil protection units die, the Overwatch radio voice actually changes based on the location of their death. With Transit Block 4 interchangeable with other pre-recorded words. And here is an example of a civil protection officer death in my game. Heck, even the main menu screens blow my mind to this day. The main menus change based on which chapter you are at in-game, and some of these are just so cool to just sit back and watch. They are rendered environments, and not only are they rendered, but they are also inhabited by little things going on in the world, with beautiful ambient noises. Comparing it to some other recent AAA games, it's amazing to see a game from 2004 outdo them from the moment it launches. I also want to say really quickly that I in no way think that the quote-unquote games of today are trash or lazy. Because while there are probably some that are, I know many games produced are still pushing limits and being creative, and most importantly above everything, creating fun and giving enjoyment. A lot of games outdo Half-Life 2 in a lot of aspects, and I'm not denying it. I just want to express my appreciation for this childhood game. I wish to stay as far away as I can from spoiling anything about the story, so this section doesn't have any examples about the main plot. If you wish to know more about the premise, I urge you to play it for yourself. In fact, I fear I might already be spoiling the fun of Half-Life 2 by making this video. But I just want to say in this section that the main story to me is really awe-inspiring, especially if you follow up with the next two games, Half-Life 2 Episode 1 and Half-Life 2 Episode 2. What I instead wish to discuss here is the subtlety in a lot of this game's world building, because boy does it build that world. From the city announcers,
"Attention residents, miscounts detected in your block. Cooperation with your civil protection team permits full ration reward."
to the Resistance radio stations, everything put into this game is such a delightful addition, not only to the world but to the easing of the player through the game's challenges and progression. There are so many obstacles and locations that you have to traverse and face, but it's never just thrust upon you suddenly, which I think the first Half-Life game did a lot. I'll just give one example. While heading into the sewers early game, you hear an abandoned radio talk about mysterious manhacks filling up the sewers.
Station 12, come in.
This is Station 8. We heard 12 go down and out. Surgical strike units are targeting railway stations. Repeat, civil protection is coming down on underground stations. We're already getting refugees from 9 and outlying. Looks like we're...
Station 8, do you copy? Station 8, are you there? We have confirmed reports of manhacks. Repeat, they're filling the underground with manhacks.
It prepares you to be ready for something bad in the sewers, and true enough, you are introduced to something bad in the sewers.
Now they're flooding the areas up ahead with manhacks. You better get going before they sweep through here.
Oh shit! Too late!
The game does this a lot, especially with locations too, warning you vaguely about incoming danger before dropping you there. When I finished my replay of this game, I was surprised to see that there are only 11 voice actors. I don't really understand why I was surprised too. There are really only 8 or 9 named characters you meet, one of them being only at the beginning and the end of the game, and another is only in one chapter. But I felt a strong sense of connection to not only the characters but the world beyond those characters. I know I'm making a video to explain my thoughts, but I'm not sure if I can explain that feeling well, so bear with me. What I can say, however, is that this game establishes the characters really well. If you've played the first Half-Life, the game does make a lot of references to that game's events, and ties the characters to those events. We know Eli Vance is this scientist who talks to you briefly in the first game. Judith Mossman is also a Black Mesa scientist and almost took Gordon's place in the events of Resonance Cascade. Alex Vance is the daughter of Eli Vance and was just a year old coming out of the events of Half-Life 1. She has done a lot of work for the Resistance since then. Barney Calhoun is the same Barney we play as in Half-Life Blue Shift, the expansion for the original Half-Life. Isaac Kleiner and Wallace Breen aren't seen anywhere in the first game, as far as I'm aware, but Half-Life 2 shows you have ties with them through conversations and details. So, while there's a small number of main characters, I feel like each and every one of these characters add on to the world majorly, instead of being a minor character for the sake of populating the game. The voice acting too, in my opinion, is really good, especially in scenes with a lot of emotion in it. Like all games, Half-Life 2 might not be a perfect game. To some, it might not even come close to the top 200 of the best rated games. And that's okay. I've been thinking a lot about the purpose of this video, and it's not to convince you that Half-Life 2 is an extraordinary game or to get you to buy it. Though, if you do buy it, I really hope you enjoy it like I did. I did this video simply because I wanted to put my thoughts out about this wonderful game that has shaped me and my creativity and the way I think. Half-Life 2 and the entire franchise in general has a very special place in my heart, and I can't even say why. Yeah, there are flaws. The airboat rides make you motion sick. The gunplay, while pretty good and gave me a lot of fun, isn't the best thing to have been made out there. There's only one ending and the game is linear. But I love this game to bits. It opened my mind to possibilities of games being more than just a distraction for a boring weekend, but a gateway to a world you can think of. Anyway, if I could choose one takeaway from this video, I wouldn't. If you're interested in this game or want to buy it after this video, I'm pretty happy. If you're a long-time Half-Life fan and enjoyed this video, I'm pretty happy too. If you strongly disliked anything said in this video, that's totally fine, and I apologize. I've never done this kind of videos, but if you enjoyed it, please do let me know. I'm far from expressing all my thoughts about Half-Life or just video games in general. I didn't even include much of my favorite character, Dog, in this video. Feel free to subscribe and check out the rest of my channel, though it's nothing like this video. I hope you have a wonderful time zone ahead, and take care of yourself.